Hello everyone, thank you again for joining me. Yes, it has been a while. Christmas was definitely indulgent. I had all my loved ones around me and we had an amazing time. I did have to host a few guests. I was a little bit under the weather, so yeah, that took me away from everyone, but I'm back with my je ne sais quoi and my twist and cachet, as I always say and do. Now today, I'm just taking it straight, something so classic, brown bread. And of course, it's not just any other brown bread. It's that perfectly soft, beautiful, pliable, melt in your mouth bread as you do. Let's start. So measure 500 grams of your organic strong wholemeal bread flour. If you don't have access to that, you can use your normal wholemeal flour. But whenever I'm baking, I prefer to use this. I bought this from Waitrose, and I think it's available in most supermarkets as well. And to that, I'm adding my salt to taste, absolutely, and some brown sugar, dark brown sugar. That just gives it that sweetness, and it has that sort of molasses taste and flavor, which really works well with the wholemeal flour. I'm adding a little bit of nutmeg for that little sweetness, as you know, and that aromatic flavor. Infusions, I told you. Now, if you have watched my previous videos on how to bake your breads, you notice that I do mention it's important you add your salt first and mix everything together till it's well combined. The reason is you don't want your yeast to come into direct contact with the salt. That deactivates the yeast, so it doesn't allow your bread to rise. So do follow that step. Now, in order for my bread to rise, I'm also using some vitamin C powder. I bought this from Holland and Barrett, and it's readily available in most supermarkets as well. Waitrose does have it. Now, apart from the obvious benefits of vitamin C, the inclusion of vitamin C powder to this mixture is to help strengthen the gluten in the flour. It gives it a better rise, and it also helps the dough to rise quickly. Now, especially during the cold season, you do need this type of help as well, to allow your bread to rise as soon as possible or quickly. So I'm now adding my yeast. I'm adding about 14 grams of it, which is like 2 sachets. Now, I've used 500 grams of my wholemeal flour here. Now, I'm mixing everything together. So yet again, as I always say, till it's well combined. Now, the reason is brown bread is actually one of my favorite things. And the reason why I created this recipe is usually when you buy the brown bread, it can be too dense. So what I did was create ways that I could have the soft and pliable and just, that melts in your mouth sort of bread. So yes, so I'm adding my natural yogurt to it. So if you think about it, I've added the yogurt, I've added the yeast, and I've added the vitamin C. And these are all ingredients that would help the bread to rise quickly and also make it fluffy and softer. So you see. So add your lukewarm water. Now the lukewarm water should be at a temperature that you can dip your finger in and it doesn't burn you. So I'm mixing this nicely. But I'm going to make a slightly wetter dough because I want this softer. But I've also melted some butter and I'm just adding just about 3 tablespoonfuls of that. And I'm now increasing the speed and adding a bit more water. Reason why I've added more water than usual is because I want a very soft and pliable dough. I want this bread to be so soft that you just go like, can this be achieved? Yes, absolutely. And that's what I love about cooking. I love creating things. So if I taste something and it could be equally great, but there's something missing, I try to figure it out and add things to it to ensure that I achieve that. So the whole point of this was for me to get that soft and beautiful melt in the mouth, sort of stretchy and fluffy bread texture. And that's exactly what I'm going for. So as I mentioned, you can see that this dough is wet, but I'm not doing anything to it. So I am going to be, kneading this using my KitchenAid mixer here until the edges are clean. That's when you know that your dough is perfect. And this can take up to about 20 minutes for it to happen. So I've not added anything else, and you can see that the sides of the bowl, it's just getting cleaner and cleaner. So you continue that until you have this, and look at this beautiful, beautiful texture that I'm having here. It's stretchy, it's just nice. I've activated the gluten. Every ingredient has played its role in making this bread. I have achieved my desired consistency. The dough is stretchy, it's nice, it's soft, it's just beautiful. You can see the gluten is activated just perfectly. The ingredients that I included in here have played their roles beautifully. So at this point, what I'm going to do is cover this beauty with a cling film and allow it to rise, okay? Now, the inclusion of the yogurt, the yeast, as well as the vitamin C helps quicken the process of this bread dough rising. Absolutely. Apart from the obvious reasons of making this bread also really soft. Now, what I tend to do is, as I said, cover it with my cling film and preheat my oven, switch it off, and place the bread dough just on the lid or on the door of my oven. And the indirect heat helps, to get the bread dough to rise as quickly as possible. So after 45 minutes, you end up with this beautiful dough that has doubled up in size. So now that your bread dough has doubled up in size, what you then do is butter your bread tin and also flour your surface, because we're going to be shaping this beautifully. Now, look at this. Look at that. Look at the texture alone. I know, it's not any other food though. This is in do by far. And anyway, so what I'm going to do is shape it. You can, shape this as one big loaf and place it in your tin. But of course, I have to do my kitchen. Now, I'm going to divide this in two and shape it just beautifully. So this is a process that I also do enjoy. What I do is use my rolling pin and roll the dough out. Especially when this dough is nice and stretchy and beautiful. You just, you can't wait. It's just incredible. And what I then do is just shape it beautifully, as you can see. So I've got that, and I think it's just spread just beautifully. So I'm going to fold both edges in, yes, as you can see here. Yeah, tap. And then the other edge, I move it in, add a bit of pressure, then roll the excess. There we have it. And then seal it at the back. Now, this is something you don't necessarily have to do, but then again, that's what I do with my brown bread. A allows me to divide this into easily because I can use one straight away and freeze the other. So there's a reason or a method to my madness. But then again, as I said, it's something you can avoid. So just in case you're curious again, let's go through this process again. And you'd rather do this, use your rolling pin and roll it out. Roll. Now, if it happens that you're using this recipe and you're using your hand in making it, just bear in mind to activate the gluten would take a little bit longer than normal. But look, that's a great exercise to do, activating your bicep and core and going for it. Why not? Anyway, so you just do exactly the same thing on the second one, and I'm just sealing it at the bottom and then add it to my bread tin. So at this point, I'm going to brush some olive oil to the surface of my bread dough, and I will cover it with a cling film to allow this to rise for the second time. And this shouldn't take more than 30 minutes if you've used the measurements that, of course, I will be leaving on my blog, fafagilbert.com, and in dudubyfafa.blogspot.com. Then within 30 minutes to 45 minutes maximum, it should have risen again. And at that point, 20 minutes into you allowing this beauty to rise, it's best to preheat your oven to 180 degrees, okay? So after about 35 minutes or 45 minutes, you end up with this beauty where it has doubled up in size. Place that in your oven and bake for about 35 minutes to 40 minutes, and you end up with this beauty. So look at this beauty. Don't tell me you're salivating right now. Brown bread pan, I eat shipsy. Hey, curvy brown bread. Wait a akpono ma wo po fine and namako aloma dalakba. Into Dubai for family wheeler. So you end up with this beauty, and take it out of the tin, leave it to rest till it cools down. Now, if you want that crusty bit, then you don't need to cover it with your kitchen napkin, a clean kitchen napkin, of course. But if you do like everything to be soft, then cover it with the kitchen napkin. Then it means that you have a softer crust. Absolutely. But look at this. When I say it's nice, soft, and look how it springs back just beautifully. Rita, I told you this is not any other food. Even the bread cracker look at that. I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and this is me making my sandwich to take to work. It's so satisfying and gratifying when you bake your own bread from scratch. You know exactly what's in it. So to create my own sandwich, I've got some avocado slices that I've spread over there, and I'm adding some fresh basil, as you do. And I'm adding some ancho chili flakes. I mean, you can use any chili flakes if you're choosing. Now, this is inspired, it was as if I'm making like a guacamole in a way. So I'm just grating some lemon zest on there for that refreshing flavor as well. And yeah, drizzle with a little bit of olive oil, as you do. And here I have my sandwich, it's bish bash bosh. And I think the beauty about this is I know that I baked it myself. So yes, I have created it just to suit my taste and how I like it, So I do like that. So here I do have my pièce de résistance. Look at that beauty. Now, who wouldn't like to be my friend in the lunchroom? Can I have a bite? Of course not. Go to the kitchen and bake your own. I can't believe I just said that. But yeah, hey, I really do miss you guys. And I can't wait to bring you some more exciting videos. As I did mention, I'd leave the list of ingredients and measurements on my blog in Dudu by fafa.blogspot.com, as well as fafagilbert.com. I'm also Snapchat. I know, right? I've discovered Snapchat. It's like I've had it, but I never use it. But I'm trying. I'm attempting. Also, the Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as Indudu by Fafa. Yeah, until next time, take a review. Be nice, be beautiful, and guess what? I love you for you. Don't change for anyone. Ooh, I missed you guys.